So for the first time when I put on my VR headset, I was very excited. Like, this is it. I'm stepping into the future. But as I went through the setup, allow camera, click. Share data, click. Track moments, click. So with every click and OK, something felt off. Like, wait, what am I giving away? Have you ever felt that too? VR headsets aren't just cool gadgets, they are data hungry machines. Let me show you why. VR headsets collect way more personal information than your phone or laptop ever could. So, what exactly does VR collect? Biometric and body data. They track your eyes, where you look, how your pupils react. Camera records your facial expressions, and motor sensors capture how you move, how you walk, or how you tilt your head. And these patterns are as unique as your fingerprints. In a major study with UC Berkeley, with 55,541 VR users, researchers found that people could be identified with 94.33% accuracy using just 100 seconds of movement and 73.20 accuracy with only 10 seconds. Let that sink in. Your motion alone can reveal who you are. So let's talk about some real security threats in VR. It gets more surprising. The Inception attack, found by University of Chicago in 2024. The hackers can trap you in a fake VR world that looks real. They just need to be on the same Wi-Fi and your headset developer mode must be on. You wouldn't even know you're being watched. Face mic attack by Rutgers University. VR headsets can pick up speech using motion sensors, even if your mic is off. Passwords, credit card details, conversations, all from a tiny face vibration. Gaze exploit on Apple Vision Pro. With Gaze, researchers could guess passwords with 77% accuracy and read virtual messages with 92% accuracy, just by analyzing eye movement, confirmed by an official CV. Let's talk about some real cases. Charlotte Tilbury paid $2.925 million with payouts of $700 to $1,100 per user because their virtual try-on collected facial geometry, which counts as biometric data. And according to Common Sense Media's privacy report, MetaQuest privacy scores 55%, Microsoft HoloLens 2 for 75%, and 57% of headsets have no parental controls. The numbers speak for themselves. So why does consent alone does not work in VR? VR makes privacy very tricky because you can't take off your headset to read a 20 pages privacy policy. Data is collected constantly, not only when you press allow. And the information VR can infer about you is way more personal than you think. So what can users do? Protect yourself in VR. Device settings. Set visibility to only me. Turn off voice commands if you don't need them. Decline optional data sharing and use strong passcodes or biometric locks. Network safety. Avoid VR on public Wi-Fi. A VPN can hide your location and IP. Keep updates on. Security patches matter. Smart behavior. Only enable developer mode when necessary. Don't sideload random apps. Check permissions regularly. Even if you think you're anonymous, motion data can still identify you. So let's now talk about privacy tech in development. Researchers are working on solutions like differential privacy. It means it adds harmless noise to hide individuals' data. Pseudonymization. It replaces identity with random codes. Data minimization. Keeps data on device instead of cloud servers. Deep motion masking hides motion traits but keeps VR usable. As we have VR and booming AR right now, it enters schools, jobs, and hospitals. Data becomes more sensitive than ever. AI-driven scams and deepfakes will get more convincing. Laws are trying to catch up, but tech is moving faster. VR is incredible. It's immersive, futuristic, and game-changing. But behind that fun, it constantly collects biometric data, environmental info, and emotional signals. And most users have no idea how deep it goes. Until better laws and protection exists, privacy is in your hands. So enjoy VR, but stay aware and stay secure. Because in the virtual world, your data is your identity.